Hey guys, Brainsmasher back again with another couple of album reviews. Sorry about the last one, kind of shaky. I don't know what the hell was going on. My camera was teetering on something, but whatever. We're going to talk about metal. Another 4 album reviews for you. While I flap my gums, check out Nehema with Light of a Dead Star. This album is great, but this band is fucking fantastic. French black metal. Turn it up a little bit. Had to rearrange the stereo system a little bit. It's still a temporary fucking clusterfuck, but at least I can play records again. Anyways, I kind of liken this like if Dark Throne's Under a Funeral Moon had taken off. It's maybe a little bit more fast, a little bit more unrelenting, maybe a little darker. I don't know. Under a Funeral Moon's one of my favorite black metal albums, and that's saying a lot about this, and might not be the most perfect comparison, but it's a good leaping off point for Light of a Dead Star by Nehema. Let's see here. Oak and Shield put this out. This copy's kind of beat up, but I'm not too worried about it. I need to get their other albums. But yeah, great stuff. The guitar tone is just awesome. So, the 4 albums that I picked out are all recent acquisitions, as I'm kind of not doing collection updates anymore. I'm just doing these 4 albums that I recently picked up. The first one, I'm really torn on this one. Au Noir's Out to Die. Got this at Earwax Records on sale, record store day. Saw these guys live last year, and I was kind of won over because I've always been on the fence about what I feel about their material post Deep Tracts of Hell. I fucking love Black Thrash Attack. I love Deep Tracts of Hell, and even the EP Dreams Like Deserts is great stuff. They're really, honestly, I'd much rather listen to Black Thrash Attack than I would Creator or Destruction or Sodom most days. That to me is how I would prefer to consume thrash metal. The drumming on Black Thrash Attack, Carl's songs are fucking great. Anyways, Out to Die is their most recent. Actually, they just put out one a month or so ago. I still need to pick up, but this is the one before it from 2015. God, 2012? Are you serious? That's how long I've not had this. Anyways, I don't really like this album. I've spun it a couple times, and there's a few things that kind of make it difficult. The first thing is the drumming. I listen to music, and I really enjoy the drums, and if I don't like the drums, it can be pretty bothersome to me. And the thing about it is, first of all, Apollyon doesn't play drums the way I would play drums over these songs, and I just really don't know why. But I did read it in an interview in promotion for the new album where he said, or actually it was an interview with Carl Michael. Not a whole lot to look here, but Carl Michael said that Apollyon hates playing double bass. And so what that does to me is it gives the album an absolutely unrelenting, just kind of crust D-beat sort of drums that he likes to play. And they never let up. There's no variety to the drums, and I really get sick of listening to the same fucking drum beat over and over again. He's skilled enough to be playing lots of other kinds of stuff, but apparently now he's all, I hate double bass. So, I don't know, that kind of ruins the album for me. The riffing is fun. The songwriting is pretty great. I really don't have a whole lot of complaints about it as a record, but the drums just fucking don't let me like it enough. That's really the best way for me to put it anyways. So yeah, that's Out to Die. Another one I picked up at Earwax, kind of on I wasn't really familiar with this record, but it kind of had all the earmarks of an album that would look like something I liked. Lupus Lounge Prophecy Productions put this out. The band is called Not Soul, and they are from Norway, and the album is called Stemning. I'm not sure what that means, but a bunch of pictures of mountains and fjords and stuff like that. I'm usually pretty much sold. And, you know, Prophecy puts out a lot of great stuff. So I thought this was a pretty dead-on, you know, I don't know, good record for me to buy. So, I mean, I don't regret it. I paid a couple of bucks for it, and it's not that bad. It's just not exactly what I thought it would be. There's a lot less, I guess, acoustic sort of interludes. There's a lot less, like, pagan and Viking kind of elements that I thought I would definitely be in for, given everything that you see here. I mean, it looks exactly like, I don't know, maybe like the Norwegian version of Falls of Raros or something like that along those lines. What I found really is that it kind of has, musically and riff-wise, there's a lot of like kind of big chords, but they use this kind of like discordant sort of chord structure. I almost liken it, I think it reminds me quite a bit of Re-In Chaos by Dissection, an album that I really can't stand to listen to. So, like, I don't know, take away the big rock riffs from Re-In Chaos and, I don't know, speed it up and give it, like, relentless blast beats, and you've got this kind of thing. It's not bad, it's not great, it's not what I expected, but that's kind of my skinny on that. Definitely something I can pick up sometime, and maybe it'll blow me away. So, a couple videos ago, maybe 6 months ago or so, I played Nasheim's Sullen's Vemod in the back of my video, and that album is just a fucking tremendous, amazing album, and I don't really know much about the rest of Nasheim's discography, but one of the commenters, hope you're still watching, I can't remember your name or what video that even was, but one of you guys said that the split with Angentur was Nasheim's best material. So I thought, well, I'm going to get another Nasheim release. Why don't I take that advice and get the split with Angentur, another band that I kind of wish I was more familiar with. So this is my first foray into Angentur and the split with Nasheim. So Northern Silence put this out. There's 3 tracks from Angentur. One of them is a live track, and it didn't really do much for me. The Angentur side didn't. What is this called? I guess I can't even read the title here. It's too dark, but it's got some Viking theme kind of stuff. Sonically, it kind of reminded me of like a Blazebirth Hall kind of band. So if that's something you're nuts about, maybe Angentur would be up your alley. But, you know, just kind of straightforward, nasty black metal. The Nasheim half, though, was not really what I was expecting, and I wouldn't say it's nearly as good as Sullen's Vemod, but it is really, really good. And something I didn't ever get around to looking up was that this song by Nasheim was actually written by Gustav Fröding from something called Matoedens Sanger, originally published in 1914. I meant to look into that and kind of understand, like, was this whole song composed by Gustav Fröding or what? But yeah, it's a 25-minute long song, the Nasheim side, so it's pretty long-winded and pretty great. There's a lot of atmospherics to it, but I just feel like it's not quite as developed a personality as Nasheim shows on the Sullen's Vemod album. I think I'll probably wind up getting the other full-length by Nasheim. Or I guess I should probably say Nasheim. But yeah, so I appreciate the suggestion. Not quite as good as Sullen's Vemod, but yeah, it's not too bad. Next, we've got a fucking banger. This is Brazil. Are they from Brazil? You know what? I'm going to check this out. I want to be sure. Can you imagine, where would we be if not for the Metal Archives? I was actually kind of surprised that I wasn't one of the first people to know about Metal Archives. I had some friends tell me about Metal Archives. Yeah, they're from Brazil. Nefast is from Brazil. But anyways, I want to get off topic here for a second. Metal Archives is fucking amazing. But where was I going with this? Anyways, I was kind of surprised that I wasn't one of the first people to know about Metal Archives. Although, I don't know, I've been on Metal Archives and I was one of the... I have a lot of status points or whatever you have on there for adding bands and stuff. So I've accumulated a lot of points over the years, just like making edits for friends' bands and shit like that. Correcting info and uploading reviews and shit like that on there. So I don't know. It's just been always a helpful resource. But can you possibly imagine like how smaller our collections would be if we didn't have a resource that would tell us that the guitar player on this album also plays in this band with this guy, and so on and so on and so on, or this is on this label. I absolutely adore Metal Archives. I probably go to Metal Archives more often than Facebook, maybe YouTube, and probably Google itself. It's, yeah, talk about just a great resource. I always wish, like, what if it went away? You know, how fucked would we be if it went away? I always wondered, like, could I buy a DVD-ROM copy of the website so that just in case something ever happened, I could reference, you know, older material that wasn't up to date or anything. It's just such a vast wealth of information on metal, and great thing. So anyways, Nefas, conceived by Inhuman Blood, just some fucking bludgeoning, unholy, satanic Brazilian death metal. This is their second of 2 albums. Came out in 2004. And it's really, really good. I had their first record. I don't listen to it very often. Brazilian death metal isn't really something that I put on all that often. And when I do, a lot of times it's Christian's Apocalyptic Revelation. That album fucking kills me every time. This is a lot more condensed, just less fucking around, evil and just pummeling satanic Brazilian death metal. Great stuff. Mighty Music put this out, and you should be able to pick this up for a couple of bucks, because honestly, I don't think a lot of people are clamoring for this kind of thing, but these guys are just insanely talented, and you never hear anybody fucking talk about Nefas. Go through the booklet a little bit. So yeah, they existed for a couple years, and that was that. I'm not sure what they're doing. God, it's been 14 years since this album came out. So yeah, check that out. Alright, every time I end one of these videos, I feel like, isn't there 10 more or something? Anyways, that's it for now. We'll see you next time.